Welcome back to Drunk Storytime with Quefish. I know that normally I'm with the plum wine, but I haven't really left the house to go hunting and looking for wine. But I've been doing grocery delivery, and I was getting grocery delivery and I saw a bottle of rosé called Prophecy, and I'm like, how can I not do a drunk story time with a bottle of wine called Prophecy? So I purchased it, and it's now sweating all over the place. But so I have a couple of stories lined up that are by Mackaley. I know I got that wrong again. And Shamil. There's two that I'm going to do from them. It's all right. So I'm gonna get started and get my fix lined up, and I'll be back just like that. Back. So I'm getting there. But I have to try something. Y'all can look away if you want. My stepdad, I don't know why, but because my grandfather, whenever I would buy him like Christmas presents or something, it was always, oh, I want Irish whiskey. Okay, great. Nobody cares about this. It's okay. But my stepdad is like, bottle of white wine and Coke. And he mixes them. And I'm like, what? Are you sure about that? And so I'm about to do something kind of dumb, but I got me a cup. So I know this is rosé, but this is also Pepsi. So maybe it balances out somehow. Maybe I'll do like a good Pinot Noir with Sprite. I don't know how well this is gonna go. But y'all are here for the laughs anyway, so. I don't know how I feel about that. Oh, that's a no from me. Nope. 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 I feel like I owe my mouth an apology. Very sorry, mouth. Okay. Okay, so like I said, I have a few on deck. Actually, I think I have 5 now. So I'll probably break it up into maybe 2 or 3 videos, depending on how quickly they go, because you've already been waiting for 5 minutes for me to get started. So all right, so the first one I'm gonna do is one of the chapters from Say Crack Again by Mackaley. And this one is chapter 9, an infernal audit. An infernal and a celestial auditor really try to figure out, are these two fucking? Hannah had taken the job because she just fucking loved paperwork. That would be me. When a miracle auditor position had opened up, she'd applied immediately and was even more excited when she'd realized she'd been assigned to the Principality of Aziraphale, who'd been stationed on Earth for a good 5,700 years or so at this point. Her supervisor assured her that this was a big responsibility, but he had absolute faith in her. Faith in heaven? She'd been touched. She then realized that being assigned to Aziraphale's log was clearly a hazing ritual, a gauntlet that any lesser angel couldn't suffer. But she would survive. She'd wanted to be an auditor for so long. And she wasn't going to fuck it up now. She'd been assigned to him for just over 9 years before she saw him in person. In Angel? For the first time. He'd smiled curtly at her and nodded his head as they passed each other, and she just stood frozen. A ticker tape of his miracle log swam before her eyes. February 14th, 1715, 22:59, earthly lingerie. February 14th, 1715, 23:02, 6 liters of chocolate cream. February 14th, 1715, at 23:06, 3 large wooden phalluses. Hannah made sure to be conveniently locked in her office anytime the Principality visited heaven from then on. When she'd found out that there was a downstairs person assigned to monitoring the demon Crowley's miracles, she immediately reached through back channels and set up their first meeting. She hadn't anticipated the genuine friendship that would follow, although truly, who else could understand her at this point but Nathan? That is a demon name if I've ever heard it. It started as a coping mechanism, a commiseration as they got sloshed and compared their logs, lining up dates and times and figuring out just exactly what their charges were getting up to together. They have to be fucking, she said over a bottle of scotch. Look at how many lube miracles he used last week. Nathan shook his head and frantically flipped through his own crumpled stack of papers. No, look. This miracle here. October 26th, 10:37 a.m. See? He's clearly with Aziraphale then, making a waiter leave them alone, stopping a glass of wine spilling, then this charge to the company credit card. He flipped the page over and squinted. Ah, yes, and then he's back at his flat, because he had to alter the wards to let him pass. Meanwhile, Aziraphale... He grabbed at Hannah's tablet and scrolled through it. He's back at the bookshop, see? And Satan, that is a lot of lube miracles. Hannah raised her bottle in a resigned toast. That's not even the worst of it. I've had to set up a separate channel for genitalia changes. Let's face it, I would too. Dude, if I could change that, just... After their charges averted the apocalypse, everything exploded, and they met at least once a week. Hannah burst through the pub door and saw Nathan eagerly bouncing in his seat. She rushed to his side. 17 penises, she whispered in awe. Please, I have to know what you have. The demon spread out his paperwork, less crumpled after years of admonishment from the angel. Although really, there was only so much he could do. All of hell's printers jammed. And pulled out a highlighter. Oh, Han, do I have a tale to weave for you. 2.5 hours later, they were slumped in their booth, sobbing, laughing. Oh, God forgive me, Han gasped. They've only been together for 3 years. How are they coming up with this much shit? What monstrosities are we going to be reading in 100 years? Nathan shook his head and wiped the tears from his eyes. Satan, who knows? He paused and took a breath. You know, I'm really happy for them. She nodded. Me too. Nathan raised his glass and grinned. To these idiots, and to hoping our employers never realize that our jobs are redundant. To us, Hannah chimed back. Cheers. 17 penises. Oh, God. Wait a minute, was that all at once? Yeah, like, just all over, just grab on, and what were they, handlebars at that point? I have questions. I have suspicions. I don't know if I want answers, though. Just saying. Okay, so I'm going to go to Gay Demonic Disaster had, because that one, yes, it was definitely, you know, a little bit saucy, but that one was kind of G-rated. So I am going to continue the G rating. I mean, compared to other things I've read, obviously. And I'm going to head over to Gay Demonic Disaster, and do Sleep Paralysis Demon. This one comes with art, so obviously check out. Some people, Sleep Paralysis Demon. Some people are restless sleepers. Some snore, some sleepwalk. Then there's Crowley, who forgets he's not on the clock anymore, and sleep works. Just some ridiculous, ineffable husband's fluff, inspired by a piece of art on Twitter. Many thanks for kindly allowing Kirsty to use your adorable art in her fic. Moving in together is one of those things in every relationship that reveals all sort of stuff you never knew about your partner. Some people discover their dearly beloved snores like a somnolent pig. Not even joking. My ex-husband would wake me up when he didn't snore because I would be afraid he was dead. His snoring was so bad. Like 2 rooms away, I would hear him stop snoring. And I'm like, that's bad. Anyway, some stick their icy cold feet on you. Some cuddle like an overly amorous octopus and overheat you. Some talk in their sleep. Some sleepwalk. I've never done that. But Aziraphale discovered that Crowley had a habit of working in his sleep. The problem being that one of Crowley's old part-time jobs had been as a sleep paralysis demon. So every now and then the angel would wake up with a stifling weight on his chest and open his eyes to see Crowley sitting there cross-legged, watching him with interest, unblinking, his golden serpentine eyes glowing slightly in the dark. I'm losing my vowels. Sorry. Sometimes he just sat there silently. Other times he talked. Angel? Angel, are you awake? Well, I am now. Aziraphale was disgruntled. Do you ever think about how cats wonder why soda bottles are always so pissed off when you open them? Crowley, it's 4 a.m. I need answers, Angel. Go back to sleep or I'll smite you. Aziraphale rolled over, dislodging the seated demon. Crowley flailed wildly, then fell on the floor with a thump and a strangled expletive. Fuck! What was was that for? Crowley sat up, rubbing his head and looking disoriented. You were doing it again, Aziraphale mumbled from under the covers. Doing what? Sleep demoning. That paralysis thing you do. Huh? You were sitting on my chest, Crowley. Oh. He thought for a moment. Sorry. He clambered back into the bed again and wrapped his long, gangly limbs around his soft angel once more. What was I saying? Something about cats and cola, I believe. Oh. The other night you asked where barn owls lived before barns were invented. Did you answer? No. Go to sleep, Crowley. Aziraphale? Yes, Crowley. How do you know what your own tongue tastes like? Aziraphale hit him in the face with a pillow. Oh my god, it reminds me of like my 8-year-old. Just the questions. Of course, Crowley would be a question asker. So, that is enough for this particular video. I'm going to record a couple more. And